It's easy. Just work more.
Oh.
You don't have enough hours. Wake up early. Work late. What about your weekends? Just go and work the weekends. Oh, Sunday. You don't need to hang out for it. Just cut everything out and work. Like, to me, it just comes naturally. But yeah.
I mean, like, I think some people would look at that and be like, that's not good for you. I'm not. I don't think that.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever tell you like this is not?
Oh, all the time.
But
all
like, if it's fulfilling for you,
it is.
Okay, so I have my theories.
No.
I've said it before on the podcast, and I still believe it. I think Graham thinks he likes working.
What?
But I don't think that he actually, like, I know you like working, right? But not to the degree that you do work. It's not healthy. You always look like you got an hour of sleep the night before. It's like, how could you live like that? It's like, it seems unhealthy.
There are certainly times that happens, but 80% of the time.
Dude, even my mom said, she was like tuning into a podcast. She's like, is Graham okay? And I'm like, yeah, like, I think so. I don't know.
Depends on what podcast was that.
All of them, man.
No, all of them.
Dude.
I'm sure you could point to a few where it's been like back to back to back to back. And like after a podcast, I got to plan a video because I have to film it for the next day.
You don't have to.
I do.
No, you don't.
You set a schedule and you got to stick with it.
That's so dope.
No, you know what's dope is moderation. Working is dope, yes, and knowing your hours is dope. Yes, I agree with that. But understanding moderation and balance in life, I think, is also pretty.
Imagine if I gave you, let's say, you get one day in front of a big container of money, and you get 24 hours in that container, and you have to grab as much money as you can. After that, 24 hours is up. You can't go back in the container. Or imagine there's a 50-50 chance you could go back the next day. But you don't know that. In those 24 hours, you say, you know what, I'm going to take a nap. I don't really feel like it. I got a 50-50 chance tomorrow of going back in the container. I don't know. I view YouTube the same way.
That is such a false comparison.
Nothing is guaranteed.
What if instead it's your entire life that you can grab from that container?
Yeah,
right? And then in front of you have a family, you have vacations.
But now's the time to do it. Now's the time before you have the family, before you have kids and all that sort of stuff. Now it's time to be in the container. I think there are windows of opportunities in everyone's life where you're in a container, and that's your. And sometimes it could be an hour, a week, it could be a year, it could be 10 years, but you're in that container.
Yeah,
and those opportunities come up, and people sometimes they'll let that slip, or they take it for granted. They get too used to it. Oh, the container. I've been in here 10 hours. Oh, this feels like forever. It's too long.
I think it's a balance, Graham, because here's the thing. Like Jack said, that container's there your entire life. So imagine you're just collecting that money from the container your entire life. You never got to use it. You just spent your entire life collecting money from a container for no reason. So why not collect money from the container for a few days and then use some of the money and then come back and collect more money
There's
from
nothing
the
to use the money.
There's a couple things that I need to provide for context.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Graham said to me a few years ago, he wasn't this way.
Okay.
But lately, since he started ramping up production, he's been more irritable, sometimes angsty, sometimes
he goes
very
around punching
tired.
people in the office.
No, he doesn't do that.
No.
But
He
it's
doesn't
like
do that.
it's seriously, guys, he doesn't do it. No, but seriously, he's been Alex laughs. This turns into a cry. He's been angsty, And
even like a little
angsty teenager.
Yeah.
And you said you used to not be like that. And
we've been having problems. Okay.
This is an intervention.
Listen.
Okay, but I need to preface this.
Yeah.
Afterfist, whatever it is. It's unpopular opinion amongst our audience to go anything like, oh, maybe you should take some time off and work less. It really is. I've spoke my mind.
Interesting.
Yes, I've said this before on the podcast, and people say, that kid's a slacker. He probably doesn't know what it's like to work a 14, 15-hour day. And that's not true. It's like, for most people, they can work more, actually. But for Graham, someone I deeply care about, a good friend of mine, I see you, and you look stressed out, and you look angsty. Sometimes you're irritable and annoyed. And it's like, if you just took a little bit more time for yourself.
But you know what? But you can't. I don't have the luxury of... It's the coffee. There's sometimes not the luxury of that. It's just sometimes you got to get something done. And that's it. And it's just like, if I'm on a schedule and a video has to go out the next day...
It doesn't.
And I get it.
It doesn't.
I'm not going to not post. If I posted on time for like 5 years, I've only missed ever maybe 2 to 3 uploads ever in the 5 years.
Okay, if he's on a streak, I get it.
I'm on a streak.
Dude, he's on the streak.
Like
He's missed uploads.
like
you missed
rarely.
uploads,
yeah,
bro.
you have though.
Holidays?
It's not a
Graham,
streak.
No.
Graham.
It's not a streak.
no, there's name.
If
one
a
I've
video's
missed
doing really well and it's long
Purposely.
titling,
purposely.
yeah, and it would be purposeful if you do it on purpose if you
No,
missed
the
an
only
upload.
time I miss an upload, a major holiday like a Christmas. I posted on New Year's Day, but like Christmas is big holidays
Yeah.
like that. I'm not going to get views anyway. It's strategic.